So today is a neat day. We are actually we're joining the Rotary. Right? We're kind of guests today of Luca and Olderico's program called with the Rotary Club Eco Milano with the network of environmental, eco, and green Rotary clubs. Did I get that right, Luca?
Correct. Mm.
Right, right. So we're joining their meeting. They meet the third Thursday of every month, and so we're combining meetings today and kind of sharing the space together with each other. So to start off, welcome to both of our monthly meetings. The network of did I say eco, environmental, and green Rotary clubs, and the Rotary Earth Network Club are both meeting today. And so we are grateful to all our members, our associates, donors, volunteers for their support and for the opportunity to co-host this meeting today. Now we will have the recordings and resources going to be available on the Earth Talks Foundation website. Luca, I think you guys will probably share it too on you have a Facebook site?
We have a
Yes?
Facebook and LinkedIn site, and it will be shared there.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. And then as always, we ask you to please mute your audio when you're not speaking. And then also, the speaker views are their own and do not necessarily reflect Rotary Earth Network Club, the network of eco, environmental, and green Rotary clubs, or Rotary International. We always like to start off our meetings with the Rotary four-way test, and we add a little emphasis for the environment. So, of the things that we think, say, or do, first, is it the truth?
Is the environmental information accurate, science-based, and transparent?
Second, is it fair to all concerned?
Does it protect people, ecosystems, and future generations?
Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Does it encourage collaboration, shared responsibility, and community trust?
And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Does it improve environmental health, human well-being, and long-term sustainability?
Okay, thank you, Lori, and thank you, Karen. It's quite comfortable for me doing nothing for this meeting because you are doing everything on my behalf. But okay, so for those who are not informed, so those who are coming from the Art Talk side, what is the network of eco-environment and green Rotary clubs? It is nothing more than a network of club. It started when the Rotary created the second area of focus, sorry, the seventh area of focus, so the environment, and club started to show appreciation for this area of for the environment, and they were new clubs were created with the environment as the primary area of focus. Steve Solbracht was the first one understanding that several clubs were being created all around the world, and he begin connecting this club in this network. So he started in 2022, in the end of 2022, with a small group of clubs. Were only 31 in the beginning. And this message was, I'm reading now in the slide, that he would be very interested in organizing an informal group of Rotary Eco and Environmental Club to network, share ideas, explore potential opportunities for collaboration. And based on that, so we are not an official Rotary organization, but a group of friends that Rotary friends, Rotary and Rotaract friends, who share the same motivation. We know that we are discussing the same problem. We have the same issue to overcome. Sometimes also the solution are similar, but what is nice is the local implementation of this solution. So we come quite regularly, not so regularly as it should be, but quite regularly to discuss this issue, to show project, to share initiatives and these kind of things. Now we have, in my database, we have more or less 100 Rotary and Rotaract club. Uh, this is absolutely unofficial, so it's simply going through the database and the directories of my Rotary and SRAG and try to pick it up who is interested or not. Uh, what is important to say is that also now regular clubs without the word eco or environment in their name, they are doing environmental stuff. And it's important to know that the seventh area of focus is really important now for Rotary.
Thank you so much, Luca. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
So we are a brand new club. I mean, we don't even have a bank account yet to pay our dues. We're that new. We're
We're
the
getting there.
Rotary Earth. That's right. We're the Rotary Earth Network Club, and our motto is small actions, big ripple, and we're all part of the same Earth. We are, uh, we'd love to have anyone who wants to join our global community, and our focus is to turn care into action. We bring people together from all around the earth. Our vision is to inspire a global community where everyday actions create extraordinary impact for our planet. And we want to connect people, purpose, and planet and transform learning into action to protect Earth's vital resources of air, water, land, and energy. One of the things our club does is through our club meetings, we're all very busy people, so we have to get as much action out of each thing that we do, touch many purposes at once. And so these are regular Rotary Club meetings. Everyone is welcome. And your presence here, you inspire others, you bring insights, and you help us connect with everyone all over the world so that when you read something in the news that's happening someplace else, it's not like it doesn't affect you. It affects the people you know in this meeting, your friends right here and now. And these meetings are the things that energize us, and the insights we share keep us going and alive. And just to let you know, full membership, and we keep that low. It just covers the Rotary International fees and the district fees, which are pretty minimal. And for those who want to get involved but can't afford this, this is really a high price. But the people who want to get involved, that's okay. We have scholarships. And so, associate members, people who belong to other Rotary clubs or just want to donate to keep our mission going, that's $25 a year. And that goes to make it possible so that people who otherwise can't afford to be a Rotarian can be a Rotarian. And we have 4 or 5 members now who are on our board who are working every week with weekly meetings and to bring this meeting to you and all of the resources to you. They couldn't afford it, so your associate membership pays for that. And the good news for all of you who keep knocking on the door and saying, when can we pay? We finally got the charter paperwork from Rotary International, and we're getting all the stuff together so that we can have a bank account in the next 2 weeks and make it possible to pay our bills and keep this going.
Thanks, you guys. It's interesting having an e-club too. We just have never, I've never been part of an e-club. I still work in my community. I still work with my Rotary Club members from my community, but it's really awesome having this e-club. But it takes a little bit to get used to. But I love it. I love it, and I know there's more and more e-clubs and Luca like yours and like some other ones around. All right, there she is. Sweet. So today we're happy to be very happy to be able to share with you Esi Otoo. Esi Otoo's decade-long membership in Rotaract has been marked with impactful projects across West Africa and Europe. She's the charter president for the Rotaract Club of Malmö Lund International in Sweden and an assistant Rotary membership coordinator for Rotary Zone 17. She also assisted in establishing the Rotaract Club of Baltic Sea, an e-club of young people dedicated to creating awareness and protecting the Baltic Sea. She's also a board member of the Empowering Girls Committee in District 2395, which advocates for a fair and equitable environment for girls to achieve their dreams. Essie, we are so thankful to have you here today.
Thank you very much, Karen, and thank you for inviting me to your club and to participate in the Ed Talk program. I'm really privileged and honored to be with you today. I will go ahead and pull up my presentation. That worked perfect. Thank you. So today I'll be talking about the impact of Rotaract in protecting the Baltic Sea. As Corinne rightly mentioned, I helped to set up the Rotaract Club of Baltic Sea together with the Baltic Sea Action Network, BASRAN, which operates in Zone 15, 17, and 18. And I'm very happy to see Gun Marie, who is the past BASRAN chair in the meeting. She has been very, very instrumental in creating this new Rotaract Baltic Sea. I will start by highlighting a few projects that I have participated in as a Rotaractor. And then I will go on to speak about how we were able to set up the Baltic Sea Rotaract Club. And then I'll finally share some of my insights or helpful tips in terms of creating successful projects and also having a vibrant, successful club. And I guess at the end, we will take some questions if there are any. So as many of you might already know, Rotaract is no longer a program under Rotary, or as many people call it, the youth wing of Rotary. Rotaract is a full membership model in Rotary International, just like Rotary, just like Rotarians are. Rotaractors are also full members of Rotary International. I guess the only difference between Rotary and Rotaract at the moment is the age differences. So Rotaract has more of a younger demographic. So we consider young people 18 years and above. At the moment, there are no restrictions, but I guess the popular idea is once a person is 35 years and above, they transition to Rotary. So that is a little bit about Rotaract. We meet together, we brainstorm on community projects. We think about challenges in the community and how we can meet those needs together with our Rotary clubs in our districts and other stakeholders in the communities we serve in. So just a quick summary about what we do in Rotaract. I will start off by highlighting one of my first projects that I participated in, and this was in Benin in West Africa. I am originally from Ghana, and Benin is one of the neighboring countries to Ghana. Sorry. So this project was held in Porto Novo in Benin. It was my very first introduction to service project as a young person. And it was really eye-opening for me because I sort of grew up thinking that um, in a country is mainly politicians or people with a lot of money who can make a difference. But becoming a Rotaract member and working with Rotary in Ghana really enlarged my perspective about service, about humanitarian work, about giving back to the community, that a little goes a long way. Sometimes just merely showing up to a project is enough to make a difference and to make lasting impact in someone else's life. So with this project, we had a health outreach. We reached out to a couple of doctors who were within the Rotary network in West Africa, and we drove all the way to an underdeveloped community where people have very limited access to healthcare. And there was a large health screening, blood pressure, cervical cancer detection, so many things that they usually don't have access to. And it was a very successful project. It was a multi-district, multi-club project. So it was on a large scale and it was really successful and really impactful for me as a young person then. I also participated in renovating playgrounds in Ghana, in Accra, which is the capital of Ghana. So in Ghana, we have schools that we usually call special schools, but they are mainly schools that help kids with special needs. So we have kids that have different kind of needs are put in this school. And unfortunately, it's being neglected to a large scale by the government, which unfortunately happens in a lot of African countries. So in these cases, there's a lot of citizen aid. So it's a lot of members in the communities and Rotary members and Rotaract members who come together to raise funds to fix a lot of the issues in the communities. And that is what we did with this particular project. So our idea was to make it more fun for the kids to be able to play as normal kids as they are and to enjoy life as kids. So we renovated the park and made it a little bit more colorful and more lively to give the kids a good experience in school. We also had book donations in different parts of the country to enhance the literacy rates in especially underdeveloped communities. We had health screening, sickle cell awareness projects. We had beach cleanup exercises. We had blood donation drives in different parts of the country. Breast cancer and cervical cancer screening. And this was one of the passion projects that many of the Rotaractors really appreciated because we found that in most communities, the women do not have access or enough information about how important it is to have breast cancer screening or cervical cancer screening. So at the point where something is detected, it will be at a stage where it has gotten really bad and detrimental to their health. And unfortunately, some of them end up dying, even at the point where they get help because it's too late. So it's one of the projects that we really value, especially in Ghana. And we do this almost quarterly in different regions where people don't have easy access to healthcare, to go there, to meet them in their communities, together with doctors and help them out with these screenings so that the early detections could literally save their lives. We also had this literacy project, Read to Lead project, which provided library cards for over 400 basic school students. So they could access the library easily and enhance their reading skills and their literacy skills. And one of the projects that I particularly loved also was the shoe donation exercise, which we had in a community in Ghana. And in certain communities in Ghana, it's hard for kids to go to school for various reasons. In a part of the communities, there is what is known as period poverty. So you find that a lot of girls in the week where they are menstruating have to stay home because they can't afford to go to school when they don't have sanitary towels to protect themselves during that period. But another important thing that happens also is that even with both girls and boys, sometimes they refrain from going to school because they don't have shoes to walk that mile to go to school. So it was very important for us as Rotary and Rotaract members to come together to gather funds and buy a lot of shoes to give out to these kids. And it touched my heart a lot because I found that something as simple as a pair of shoes could literally change the trajectory of a child's life. That with a simple pair of shoes, they can access school, they can train themselves, educate themselves, and be able to find a job and work for themselves, become educated and an upstanding member of society. So through this project, I learned that Rotary, the world can't do without Rotary. I believe that the world can't do without Rotary and Rotaract. Just thinking about the impact that we have in Africa alone, in Europe, all over the world can't do without Rotary. And that is why I always feel happy when there is a new Rotaract member or a new Rotary member, because I believe that the impact will be extended and enhanced. I'll go ahead and share a few tips from these projects that I participated in. There were many others that I don't have images of, but all of these projects have the same things in common, and that is what I've put together in this slide. The first is that when we are thinking about successful service projects in Rotary, we have to think about how the project is actually meeting the needs of the communities or meeting the needs of the world in general. So the projects have to be worth doing. So it has to be a real impact and not just something that we assume is needed, but something that is literally actually needed, because that's how we can measure the results of what we've done. Another thing is that the project has to serve both the community and also the club members. So there has to be very helpful discourse between not just the board members of the club, but also all the club members. So we have to detect what are the interest areas of our club members. What kind of projects are they interested in? What kind of things can we do to actually engage all the club members? Because if we do projects that are only relevant to certain people in the club, we won't get that inclusion that we want to feel when we are executing projects. So it's very important to make sure that we have more like a consensus and an agreement on the project we are doing. It's very beneficial because then everyone will feel like they have a stake in the project and everyone will give their best to make the project successful. So it's very important to consider the views of our club members when coming up with project ideas. Our projects also have to be sustainable and also easily replicated. So it doesn't have to be something that we do one time and we can't really maintain it or make sure that the impact continues to roll over. It's important that when we are spending money to do projects that we make sure that they can continue to be impactful, at least not just for the short term, but also in the long run. And of course, as we know, our projects have to, as much as possible, align with Rotary values and areas of focus. And I know that that is something you have no problem about, being an environmentally targeted club, because you already have your impact or area of focus set out for you, which is protecting the environment or raising awareness about issues about the earth or about the environment. Finally, I believe that our projects, to be successful, they have to provide opportunities for teamwork, for friendship, for leadership, and for learning, not just for the beneficiaries of the project, but also for the club members and other stakeholders who will be participating in making the project a success. And then it has to be doable. So as much as we want to aim big and we want to have sustainable and impactful projects, we also have to consider the capacity of our clubs. It has to be something that we can comfortably afford without jeopardizing the financial situation of our clubs. So these are a couple of helpful tips I wanted to share in terms of projects and executing successful projects. So I will move on now to talk about the most exciting part, at least for me, which is the creation of our new Rotaract Club of Baltic Sea. And this Rotaract Club is really exciting for so many reasons. First of all, it's a club that reaches beyond countries, districts, zones, and regions. Our club is made up of young people in countries around the Baltic region. So we have members from Germany, from Sweden, from Denmark. I think we also have Latvia and Poland, Finland. So it's a very multinational club. And I think that is one innovative way of engaging young people, that we look beyond young people in our immediate environment or our immediate community, but think about how we can engage young people from different walks of life, from different cultures, and surround them around a main focus or a main aim. And in this case, their focus is on protecting the environment or protecting the Baltic Sea. So this Rotaract Club works hand in hand with the Baltic Sea Action Network, BASRAN, whose main aim is also creating awareness about issues surrounding the Baltic Sea. They have webinars where they invite seasoned professionals to talk about the Baltic Sea, to talk about how, even as individuals, we can lend a voice in the cause of protecting the Baltic Sea. So this Rotaract Club is going to work hand in hand with them in this cause. And also, just like in Rotary, in Rotaract, this provides a perfect opportunity to network globally and to have a bit of cultural exchange and also make lifelong friendships. So just a national flag representation of the members we have in our club at the moment. I just also wanted to mention quickly that this is not to set more like a boundary and say that we only want people around the Baltic Sea to be part of this club. We know that in Rotary, we don't put anyone off the fence, so there are no borders. So as much as our impact is protecting the Baltic Sea, we also welcome members from all walks of life as long as they want to focus on protecting the environment and also are interested and excited when it comes to protecting the Baltic Sea. So just a picture from our charter ceremony. Because we are an e-club, our charter ceremony was held virtually, and it was the first time I attended a virtual charter ceremony. But I must say that it was really exciting. The energy was really, really great and undeniable, even though we met digitally. So that was a big highlight for me. And the club recently on Sunday got presented with the charter certificate by the district governor in District 2395. So we are officially a Rotaract club in Sweden, in the south of Sweden, though our members are all across Europe. I would like to close by sharing some tips for building and sustaining vibrant clubs. I believe that one of the important things that in my experience in helping to set up two Rotaract clubs in Sweden is to lead with people first. In Rotary and in Rotaract as well, we have a lot of structures and we have boards and we have systems, and they are very important. But I believe that to build vibrant clubs, we have to lead with the individual first. We have to think about the names behind the numbers we have in our clubs. So we have to place an emphasis on the people before the structures, making sure that the structures are in place, but leading with the people. And how can we do this? We do this by curating social connections and relationships. So we can have meetups in our Rotary Club. We have a lot of informal meetings. And I think all over the world, the general view about Rotaract is that we have a lot of fun and we like to party. And I think that is true. But that is also one of the positives of Rotaract, that through that informal connection and that informal meetings, we are able to connect deeper with each other. And that helps us to stay in our clubs and even make more impact. So that is one of the things that I would tip to you in your various clubs, that try to curate more informal meetings, informal connections. It can be a simple hangout, it can be meeting up, it can even be a quick WhatsApp group where you check in on each other, so that once someone hears from you, it's not only about something going on in the club, but on a lighter note. That is how we build our connections. And for me, that is one of the things that has helped to build and sustain two new Rotaract clubs. So I wanted to share a picture from one of our hangouts in our Rotaract club. We had a dinner together and we invited Rotaractors from Denmark to join us. Because we are in the south of Sweden, we are just about 15 minutes away from Copenhagen. So we take advantage of that to do a lot of cross meetings, cross national meetings, if I should say. And they are always exciting and fun. Another thing is that when we are thinking about recruiting or inviting people to our meetings, that the first introduction of someone new to Rotary or Rotaract should not be just coming into a formal meeting. where we just sit and listen to someone speak to us. That could be a good way of introducing someone to Rotary. But in my experience, a more effective way is to invite them to a project or invite them to an activity where they can literally see the impact that we do in Rotary. I think that has a more positive effect where someone can actually see a hands-on approach of what we do in Rotaract, to see us as Rotaractors or Rotarians in action. So that will be one of the tips that I will have for us to think about, that when we invite people, it could be our friends or it could be someone we think could be a good Rotary member in the future, that we try to invite them to our activities and our projects. And this is a picture from one of our clubs in Malmo, Rotaract Club of Malmo Lund International. And we had a polio project. So it was a movie screening, and then we took advantage of that to also raise funds to donate to the polio fund. And out of the number you see here, half of them are not members of our club or were not members of our club at the time. So having more non-member engagement in our project is a good way to get people interested in our cause as Rotarians. Lastly, I would like to share 3 more tips in sustaining and building vibrant clubs. The first is to ensure that we have some roles for our new members. It doesn't have to be the key roles like a president or a vice president, which could be perhaps overwhelming for a new member. But we could get them to serve in committees. We could get them to serve in, for example, the club administration committee or the public relations committee or the Rotary Foundation committee, so they feel involved even as new members. And that is one of the key ways to get people to keep showing up and to keep giving back into their clubs. Another thing is to, as I mentioned earlier, to always ask for members' insight. This is very important because it makes members feel relevant, it makes them feel heard, it makes them feel like active participators and not just spectators. Because sometimes in Rotary you could feel the sense that you're just in the club and things are happening in the club, especially if you are not in the board. And I have had that experience in some clubs that I have been in when I was back home in Ghana, that it's only the board that handles things and everyone else just acts according to that. But a more effective way is to make sure that our members feel included in our meetings, in our projects, and that they feel that their voices are heard. That is one of the helpful ways to keep members in the club and to make them feel fulfilled and like active actors in the club. Another thing we can do is also to enhance our public relations, because this builds fulfillment and it also re-energizes our club members. So we don't only have to wait when we are having a big project before we talk about it, but we have to celebrate our small wins. It could be on social media or on our website, that we constantly talk about the things we are doing, the meetings we are having, the projects we are donating to. That helps members to feel fulfilled, and it helps them to feel like they are actually doing something worthwhile and something meaningful by being members of our clubs. I believe these are very important things that we can think about and brainstorm on innovative ways that we can sustain our clubs and make it more vibrant and attractive for our members so that we can retain them, and also hopefully to get new or prospective members into our clubs. So that was all I wanted to share with you all today. And if you would like to connect with us, our Rotaract Club is available via email, LinkedIn, and also on Instagram. And if you'd like to reach out personally to me, Corinne has my email address. So you can easily reach out to me through Corinne. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much, Esi. Oh my gosh. We are in such good hands. Oh my goodness. Baltic Sea groups, you are in such good hands. Just, man, I love Rotaract clubs. I love Rotaract. I think definitely in the field, the environmental field too, we're seeing a lot more action with Rotaract clubs. So I just think it's fantastic. Okay, Najodi. There it is.
Excellent
Thank you.
presentation. Thank you so much, Esi Otoo. And this is our appreciation certificate in recognition of your generous contribution as a guest speaker to Earth Talks. And best wishes. Today's excellent session. We learned a lot from you, as well as thank you, Luca, from the PICO, Environmental and Green Rotary Clubs, for your excellent presentation. Thank you, Laurie, for president of the Rotary Earth Network. Thank you for everyone and welcome to our meeting every week, Thursday, same time and same link. Thank you. And our next speaker for the next week on 29th January from Climate and the same time on Thursday. You all are invited. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Najodi. Do people have, oh, we see lots of hands. Okay, good. Luca, perfect. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Hi, Esi. Thanks for your presentation. I want to make a difficult question because I want to deep dive in your activity. So from your presentation and from what I know, I understand that there is this community built around the Baltic Sea. Maybe the Baltic Sea was the initial scope, and then around it you created a community. I know also that there was this famous RILA project that takes place every year. And for me, it's interesting because you have a community, a multinational one, and you try to teach the young people this leadership, to include young people into a leadership program. How does it work? How can you create this leadership model with a multinational environment?
That is a really great question. And our club is actually made up of RILA alumni. So our members are participants who participated in RILA. We in our region we have the RILA Baltic Sea. So it's just your usual Rotary Youth Leadership Award system, but the program is geared towards creating awareness about the Baltic Sea and actually educating the young people who participate in the RILA on the course about protecting the Baltic Sea. So that made it easy for us to create the Rotaract Club made up of these alumni because they already have more like a base or a basic introduction to issues surrounding the Baltic Sea because they participated in the RILA Baltic Sea. So that is one of the things that is the tip that we use to be able to create a club out of that. So I would say my advice.
Did you participate in the RILA?
No, I didn't. I got the more like the responsibility to form the club because I have experience in creating new Rotaract clubs. So this is the second Rotaract club that I have helped from the ground up to become chartered. So I got a responsibility to do that. But I personally did not participate in the RILA Baltic Sea. However, all our club members at the moment, or should I say the charter members, are RILA alumni. So I guess that made our work easier because we already had a contact or a mailing list of all the alumni from the different countries. So once we decided that we wanted to have a Rotaract Club of Baltic Sea, we just sent out emails about our plan to the past participants, and those who were interested followed up to become members of this Rotaract Club.
So, final comment from my side. So it means that this RILA project, they are important. Yeah, okay.
Very, very. I think that Gun-Marie wants to add something to
Yes,
that.
I was going to say, I wanted to get her. I'm going to put her in here too. Thank you.
Thank you. Karin has asked me in the chat to comment.
Yes, I asked in the chat if she wanted to comment.
And I have been in the Bastran board since 2021, so I have the experience from when we started up Raila Baltic Sea. It was in Germany in 2022. So Germany was arranging it together with Greifswald University. And the next year, 23, we have arranged Raila Baltic Sea here in Sweden, outside Stockholm, in the archipelago, on the sailing ship Briggen 3 Kronor. So each year we have been 25 participants, and I was one of 6 leaders when we have arranged it in Stockholm. And the next year, 2024, it was in Finland together with Helsinki University and in Tvärminne. And you have also Hannele Kauran with us, and she was one of the leaders in Finland. And last year it was in Denmark. Roskilde University was the partner. And 25 participants, and Esi went there in order to meet all the participants and to invite them to the Raila Club of Baltics, Rotaract Club of Baltic Sea. So it has worked very well. And this year, 26, it will take place in Lithuania, in Palanga, along the coast. And it's the same time, it's the beginning of September, when also Rotary Action Summit and Rotary Ada takes place. So it has worked very well. We have 100 Raila participants. So I think there will be more Rotaract clubs. And we, in the Bastran board, we are cooperating with this new Rotaract club with Esi. So Esi and the new president called Linus from Spreckelsen from Germany, they are in the Bastran board. We meet once a month, the first Sunday in the month. We meet in the evening. And we are arranging Raila Baltic Sea, as Esi mentioned. We are also arranging webinars twice a year in different topics. The next is plastic pollution. The one in October was about industrial fishing. So we have action committees, 5 action committees, and they are diving deep in their issues. For example, the industrial fishing, the plastic pollution, the creating awareness and environmental education, and eutrophication and harmful substances in the deep. And then we arrange webinars in these issues and invite hundreds of people. So we have our webinars, we have our Raila Baltic Sea, we have newsletters which we send out once a quarter. And there is no membership fee. So we have no costs. We handle it without costs. So if there is any costs, if there are any costs, the Rotary districts or Rotary clubs or Rotary members will pay. So it's very convenient.
Nice. That is excellent. Luca, that was a great question. Great. And it actually was, it led me into a question about, do you think the environmental projects, you're all about the Baltic Sea, obviously, so you're going to probably do a lot of environmental projects, but maybe Esi would comment on, do you think, or Gunmarie, some clubs, like I'm in central Pennsylvania, they don't do anything environmental when they do Ryla. And I just am like, why don't you do some environmental projects? Like, do you think that environmental projects would attract more people, the young people, to come to Ryla?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And a year ago, on January 18, 2025, we had a Rotaract webinar in order to introduce Rotaract for the Raila Baltic Sea participants. And we had lots of Rotaractors, Esi from Sweden, we have from Denmark, we have from Lithuania, we have from Finland, we have from Germany. And they had really been engaged and inspired the participants. And when we have ended all the presentations, we asked the Raila alumnus, Raila Baltic Sea alumnus, what did they think? Were they interested in joining Raila Baltic Sea E-Club? And why were they interested? And the common answer was that they were interested in go on meeting, in go on networking, but especially working with the focus area and their interest, the environment. So the environment was the answer.
That's
And I used to
remarkable.
say that the purpose with Basran is to contribute to a better environment in and around the Baltic Sea. And
Perfect.
we are just now 8 countries around the Baltic Sea cooperating. And we have a board with 21 members.
Wow.
And
That's big.
the,
That's a
the
big board.
idea the idea is that the activities should take place in the local Rotary clubs. So we are inspiring and supporting.
Fantastic. All right, Luca, I'm going to let you go ahead. You had I know you were going to say something. I'm going to take Gun Marie and
No,
myself, but
I mean, in the beginning, we said that, okay, there are eco clubs and environmental clubs, but not
yeah,
only those. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
there are a lot of people that are working with environment and they understand the environment,
yeah,
even if they don't have the eco word in their name. And I think that this Basra story, the easy presentation, and what we have learned today is it's witnessing this. So okay.
yes. Okay. I'll take you and me off and we'll let Lori ask her question. Lori, thank you for being so patient.
Oh, that was a wonderful question. I almost want to highlight Luca one more time. And Luca, if you could put your email in the chat, because that brings up the importance of all of us networking together. And so, if you, to all of the people who are here on this call right now, thank you. And if your club, I mean, obviously you're interested in the environment. If your club is interested in the environment, please contact Luca. They can contact you and add their club to your list, correct?
Exactly.
Because when I get off this call, I'm sending the recording. We have two new Rotaract clubs forming in our district. They need to see and hear you, Esty. I mean, this is going to be so eye-opening to them. And hopefully contact with you, Luca, to be part of this network. It keeps us going. Just so thrilled. Esty, you are busy. You've got a job, you've got school, you've got this isn't you're not retired like me. This isn't something that you can how how do you, given the limited time that you have, make it possible for your new members to onboard them to Rotary, to get them involved in something, and to keep the main thing is to keep following up with them to see how they're doing and that they're all networking together.
Great question. And from the list of responsibilities you had, Laurie, I want to add to that 2 small kids, because I have 2 kids as well, a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Holy mackerel.
It's a handful of things. But to your question, um, I think I just have just a particular drive and passion for community change, I guess. And maybe it's my background from West Africa and the impact that Rotaract had on me at a very young age. So I've just naturally kept that drive of doing projects and actually seeing in real life how that's impacting someone's life for a long time. As I mentioned from the shoe project, to just think about how giving just a pair of shoes changes a young person's life forever. So that drives me. That impact just drives me and keeps me moving. But also teamwork has been very beneficial in this in my work with Rotary and Rotaract, that you sort of empower the people around you. So I empower the people around me, the young people around me, I share my expertise, my ideas, my experience with them. So when I'm not able to fill in for something, they know how to go about it. So for me, that has been very important so that on a day where, for example, I'm sick or I need to take my kid to the doctor, I know that there is someone in my club who is capable and experienced to also, do the same thing I would have done if I had the time. So it's important to build teams, and that has been beneficial for me. That's a great tip, to make sure that everyone on the team is has enough experience and has enough expertise to take up anything at any point in time. So teamwork is very important. And even when someone is in a leadership position, to not feel like everything is on you, because sometimes it can feel that way when you are, for example, I was a charter president 2 years ago. In the beginning, it could feel like I need to make sure that things are up and running. But if you reach out to a member of the club, you'll be amazed that they would be even more happy to help out. And I think sometimes when we are in leadership positions, we can feel that way, that the responsibility is on us. And that may be true. But I have learned that to avoid burnout, because there's a lot of things going on in my life, to always reach out to someone.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent advice.
Thank you.
Let me take us off here. And then Gun Marie has one. Hold on just 1 minute, Gun Marie. I'm going to just close this out and then we can wait a little longer for Essie. Do you have a little time to stay?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
we're getting right at the top of the hour, so we want to end the meeting and thank everybody for coming.